Good morning, 12 past 7 o'clock at News Radio 710 Keel. We are online at 710keel.com. Radio Pup app for the smartphone, free as always. Robert J. Wright and Aaron McCarty back from vacation and joining us out of the box here. First segment, 7 o'clock hour, Mr. Tom Gresham, Gun Talk, heard weekly on Keel Sundays 1 till 4. Mr. Tom, been a while. I wish it were under a little more pleasant circumstances, to say the least.
Let's get rid of guns, Tom.
Yeah, well, when you do that, as you guys know only too well, the good people get rid of them, the crooks don't, and certainly the terrorists don't. The thing that, and I tell you, my heart is just sad with this whole thing in Orlando on several levels, just on the pure evilness of the whole thing, but also that this group of people was told you cannot protect yourself. You must be defenseless, and that makes me angry.
Concealed guns are not allowed in nightclubs. We all know that, right?
Well, in Florida, that's not true everywhere. It depends on the law, but the idea that we would say this is an area where you cannot protect yourself is quite simply immoral. And to tell people, and look, the whole idea of, well, we have security. Yeah, well, this guy was the security dude. What if the security dude is the one who decides to kill everybody? Make no mistake, whether it's a single incident or a terrorist attack, and we've been saying for years, guys, that we know they're going to come here and they're going to start shooting up schools and soft targets and malls and all of that. And I've been saying, everybody, you got to take care of yourself and your family. You have to not only get a gun, but you got to go get some training so you know what to do with it, and then get recurrent training and do it over and over again. They're here. Make no mistake about it. They're here, and this is only going to get worse. Nothing about this is going to stop today.
And yet, Mr. Tom, those on the left, the president yesterday, Hillary Clinton, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to find out this man's true motivation. And then, well, let me back up a little bit. I saw, was it the Archbishop of Chicago, for heaven's sake? It's not as though Christians are a not persecuted minority by the same Muslim radicals.
Right.
The Archbishop of Chicago calling for gun control. And I was just, as my nana used to say, I was just frosted.
There's a lot of very low-level thinking going on here. And, part of it is defensive. I mean, you guys have to understand there's a psychological thing going on where it's just defensive, where if we actually admit that we are at war, which we have been for 25 years, and if we actually admit there are people who really do want to kill us, then that becomes scary, and I don't want to think about that. And so rather than actually think about what the reality of it all is, I will focus on something simple or simplistic like guns, and then I can say, well, if we only did this one thing, then all these evil people wouldn't be trying to hurt me, and I wouldn't be so scared. So I get the defensive mechanism, but the problem is their actions kill people. The gun control people should be taking at least a little bit of the blame for this, for saying, all of you people in this bar, in this nightclub, you are legally prohibited from protecting yourselves. That's like saying you are legally prohibited from wearing a seatbelt. That's immoral.
Tom, let me ask you this, and this is kind of a devil's advocate or adversary, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Why do we even need to have AR-15s on the market? I know you hear that question all the time, and I know it gets under your skin, so let me get some more under your skin.
All right, I answer that with another question. What is an AR-15, Aaron?
A semi-automatic rifle, I guess I would say.
Right. And when I was 11 years old, 50 years ago, I used a semi-automatic rifle for deer hunting. But the one I used was infinitely more powerful, much more powerful, twice the power of an AR-15. These things are actually low-powered, semi-automatic rifles, which, by the way, those rifles have been around for 100 years. Why the focus on the tool? This is just a rifle.
What should we be focusing on? What would Tom Gresham say to President Obama this morning if you're having a cup of coffee about get off this gun topic? Here's what we need to do.
Oh, I would tell him, let's remove the restrictions on people who want to get training and want to protect themselves and carry guns where they need to carry guns. Hold on just a second here. And we We just need to emphasize people taking care of themselves and each other. And I would say, look, get off of your high horse because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I mean, if your gun control works so well, Mr. President, please take a look at your gun control utopia of Chicago and tell me how that's working out for you.
You know, Tom, I had said to Aaron, I said to a couple of folks yesterday when they were on the topic of, well, we need to ban these AR-15s. And basically what I said to them was what I said to Aaron last hour. I said, okay, so theoretically you ban an AR-15. But then the next time there's a mass murder, do you ban that weapon too? And how many mass murders have to happen with less and less powerful guns before a gun becomes an acceptable size? It's not about the guns, and you just can't make people see that.
Exactly. Well, what we found is that for the gun ban lobby, which is where this is, there are no good guns. Some guns are too small. They call them Saturday Night Specials. Some guns are too large, 50 caliber guns. Some guns are too ugly, AR-15s. Some guns, I mean, you go on, and the truth of it is they will always find a category to say, well, you should know this type of gun, when in reality, that's just the instrumentality. So people really seriously need to get off of the whole AR-15 kick. That's just a semi-automatic rifle. There are dozens and dozens of other models, not AR-15s, that work exactly the same, functionally the same, shoot the same cartridges, shoot the same bullets. So we got to get off this and realize it's not about the instrumentality, it's about the person. And frankly, it's about being able to protect yourself because nobody else is doing it.
Tom, in about 45 seconds, related but not entirely related, Hillary Clinton last week on George Stephanopoulos, he says, does the Second Amendment guarantee citizens a right to own guns, to bear arms? And her answer was, well, if it does,
right,
they should be heavily regulated.
Make no mistake, Hillary Clinton wants to get rid of the Second Amendment. Now, she won't take it out of the Bill of Rights, but she has openly said her goal is to get a Supreme Court that will negate it.
D.C. versus Heller, that would come back up, right?
D.C. versus Heller would go away. What she said, the Supreme Court got it wrong when it said you have a right to own a gun. So she thinks you do not have a right to own a gun. She will work to get justices and judges who say that. And once that happens, even though the words are still in the Constitution, there will be functionally no Second Amendment. So it makes the decision very, very clear in November for anybody who cares about being able to protect yourself, protect your family, because she wants you to have to call the police and then wait while people die second by second and wait for somebody else with a gun to show up instead of you being able to stop this attack yourself.
Tom Gresham, host of Gun Talk, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're in the middle of a travel day, so safe travels.
You guys take care.
News Radio 710 Keel Fletcher Sports. Tim is up next.